Good morning, everyone. Welcome again to Luxury 2015. Hear that music, by the way? That's Gavin DeGraw. You may remember Dancing with the Stars. That's I don't want to be that. He's Sunday night as we rock the beach. Okay, I'm Dave Fogel. I'm here for my 9th year from CBS Radio in Chicago. Where are my Chicago people? Really? Are you really from Chicago? I don't recognize you. I see some familiar faces from years past, and it's nice to see some of you from yesterday, and then there are even new people this morning, so welcome. Did you have fun? Did you do the dine around last night? Aren't the prices reasonable? It's great. I come all this way. And the Late Night Lounge, I have some stuff to tell you about at the end. We've got a terrific speaker for you. And then Saren will come up. We have a great morning planned. So there's the voting. That's what I got to remind you about, the Retailer of the Year. We're going to announce that tomorrow morning at this time. And you want to be here for that. We should be able to put a graphic on the screen. And there's stuff on your tables, too. But you're texting to that number and texting in, or whether you vote for. There they are, our 5 finalists for Retailer of the Year. So vote, and look, if you are nominated, and maybe next year you will, you want to make sure you support your friends or who you really respect, so make sure you get up there and get your voting in, because tomorrow morning at this time, and the voting ends tonight, so we'll have a winner tomorrow. Okay, let's get the show on the road. This speaker we have here for you, ladies and gentlemen, awesome. I already have a terrible crush on her. She's a permanent resident of the USA now, after having lived in Australia. She moved here 4 years ago with her 2 sons. Her accent is smoking hot. It's cool. Terry has won numerous awards for her speaking, authorship, and entrepreneurial abilities. She was recently named as one of the top 60 motivational speakers in the world, top 10 among women. That's pretty high up. She continues to lead the way as a pioneer in developing breakthrough strategies and retail excellence programs for her clients. Please welcome the lovely Terry Hawkins.
I love it. Thanks for all the flirting. It's fantastic. Wow, I love all the lights. Oh, there's music now. I think we're getting ready for tonight. I'll give the photographer one photo. I love I don't know if you've spent much time on stage, but of course, you know, we have to have the bright lights. I always love standing here, and in Australia, I would say, wow, I know what a kangaroo feels like just before it's hit by a car. See, in Australia, they all laugh, but you guys go, what? So I have to change it to deer. How are we? Oh, I love it. There's a little bit of life over here. I think some of you are looking at me going, okay, she's blonde, she's loud, she's female, and she's from Australia. Pretty scary. So what I might do, I know a lot of you are still eating, once you've finished eating, maybe what you might want to do is turn your chair around. How's that sound? Just so that you can actually, yeah, it's very good. I love people who are actually willing to do what I ask them to. Only because it makes it a lot easier for you. And I like looking at your face. I like looking at your face. So let me ask you, who are the retailers in here? I have to put my hands up here. Who are the retailers? Okay, 4 of you. That's fantastic. I love it. All right. So most of you, I'm assuming, are going to leave in about 10 minutes. Is that right? Yeah, exactly. You know what's going to happen? We're going to start this date, and you're going to think, oh, I so didn't want to go on this date. And then you're going to go, I want to stay now. Anyway, whether you're selling wholesale or whether you're doing retail, the presentation I'm going to give you today is, I've been a retail trainer, and I've had a retail training company for 25 years. So I've been training in retail for 32 years, so I know what you're thinking. 21, maybe 22, but no, I'm 53, so, you know, good lighting. Or not. And so in all of that time, I have done so many things where you can look at retail sales, or you can look at selling as a system, and people will learn the sales process. But what unfortunately happens is, and I'm building into why I'm doing this particular presentation, is that we actually start with a product, don't we? So this room is filled with luxury products. So you sell a luxury product. And we sell it to who? Oh, there it is up there, beautiful. We sell it to a customer. And I think that's where we spend most of our resources. And so we buy amazing products, or we design beautiful products, or we spend an absolute amount of time, energy, and money in creating a product that the customer is going to go, wow, I so want that. Then we create amazing environments for our clients. So if you're wholesaling to retailers, then you obviously create beautiful showrooms and so forth. With retailers, we spend a fortune on having the most incredible design fit-outs and gorgeous environments. Because what we do is we go, what's our role? Our job is to get the product into the customer's hands. Is that right? I'm pretending you've gone, yes, of course, that's right, thank you. There is a person in the middle though, isn't there? There's a mediator. And the mediator, of course, is the person who does the sales, the salesperson. The trouble is very few of us actually spend an adequate amount of time on the person who is the marriage, really. They're the marriage counselor, aren't they, between the customer and the product. So what does the salesperson bring into the mix? Well, we teach them. What do we focus on? We teach them selling skills. We teach them product. Bit of selling skills, product. But what else does the human being bring into the mix? Because I couldn't work out why. Why is it you can take certain people, give them both the same training, both the same experience, both the same platform, one would fly, the other would die in the bum? And then, of course, it was the human being that got in the way. So the human being brings in what? They bring in their mindset, they bring in their own self-esteem, their own self-awareness, they bring in their fear of rejection, they bring in whatever happened that morning. And this part here influences that, whether they buy that. So this presentation this morning is about how we get in the way. Because I came up with a formula in one of our retail sales training programs where I thought, why don't we fix the human being first? And then the sales part and the management part and whatever other part that you add to the mix is going to take off. If people don't have a self-awareness about what they're doing, nothing's going to change, is it? Not at all. And so let's have a look at it. So would you all agree that we're all in the sales industry? Would you all agree? Yeah. Love this table at the front. Bridal table, I love you. And so nothing like a bit of exchange, is there? Yeah? And so of all the industries out there that do sales, which industry would you think is the worst, has the worst reputation for salesmen or salespeople? What do you think? Car sales, very good. Love you out here. I can feel you. Car sales. Now, nothing against car sales. I think I heard someone say used car salespeople. Nothing against used car salespeople. I went out with a really gorgeous Italian man many years ago. Gotta love an Italian man, don't we, girls? Yeah, see, they go, mm-hmm. Gorgeous. Who had his own car yard, beautiful man, great guy. So I'm not bagging out car salespeople. And we would go, the other end. But of course, there's also luxury dealerships as well, isn't it? And so actually, speaking about Italian men, my former husband took me to lunch one day to an Italian restaurant. And so we walk in, and the waiter, the maitre comes out, and he says, so madame, would you like to sit outside or inside? Well, I can't help myself. I just start flirting. And so I said, well, what's it like outside? He looks me directly in the face and says, you tell me. You just come from there. And I was like, you just go, I'm going to die 1,000 deaths. So let's just make you the customer for a second. So you put the money in your back pocket, you walk into the car yard to buy a car, into the car dealership. The guy comes out, he has the wide tie, the big smile, and he goes, g'day. Actually, he wouldn't say g'day. What would he say here? Howdy. Hello. How you doing? Yeah, like doing my accent. And then we do what? We go, what? Back off. Just looking. It's okay, I don't need any help. So why do we do that? What's missing in the relationship between us as a customer and them as a salesperson? What's missing? Trust. Very good. Now, the best way that I know how to build trust is through that wonderful word that I know you all know called empathy. Doesn't everyone jump on the empathy bandwagon now? So empathy. I can give you a little bit of a tip. So many people, I think, come to things like this with the expectation that they already know, yeah? So they go, know that, I've heard that, yep, already know that, already do that. And then they leave and they go, oh, it was a great refresher. Don't you love that? I go, if you walk out of any of these programs and go, it was a great refresher, you've got rocks in your head. Yeah? Why? Because when you say it was a great refresher, you actually come in looking for what you already know. But why do we go there? Because some of us get arrogant, don't we? Some of us go, well, we do all of that, and I know what I'm doing, and I think I'm fantastic. And I go, great. Arrogance and growth are not good friends. You cannot grow and be arrogant at the same time. I have worked with thousands and thousands of retailers. I've probably presented to over nearly 500,000, if not more. I have a team of trainers. We go into businesses all the time, and I see money walking out of the door every single day. My friends nickname me Retail. Why? Because people think they know. They think they know. So why is it? Why is it that you've got the best product? You've got the most amazing product. It's gorgeous. It's fantastic. Why isn't it selling? Because of these idiots. Don't we? We blame them. And why aren't they buying? Because they wouldn't know good taste if they fell over it. So we get all stressed and then what do? So then we put targets on our people, don't we? We put targets on and we go, come on, get in there, come on, sell. I'll give you more commission. That'll make you sell more. No, it won't. No, it won't. Because if they're only selling on commission, they're missing the absolute core essence of what they're supposed to be doing. So when we look at empathy, we look at, now everyone knows what empathy is, don't we? We all know what empathy is. So what's empathy? What do you think empathy is? I'm going to scare you. That's right. I'm coming down into the crowd. They go back off. See, they look at the floor. They go, don't look at her. Don't give her any eye contact. Yes? It's too scary. Why am I coming down here? My favourite saying in life is this. There are only 2 times in life, now and too late. Now and too late. So what's empathy? What do you think empathy is? Now, I promise I'll never make you wrong. So whichever answer you give me, I'll make it fit somehow. So relax. So what do you think empathy is? What are you doing when you empathise? Yell it out. You're relating. Beautiful. You're feeling other people's feelings. Beautiful. So you're connecting with people, yeah? So we all know that, don't we? When we tell our staff, what do we say? Or we tell ourselves, you have to be empathic with the customer. Be empathic with the people that come through the door. And I go, okay, well, then what really is empathy? I've been training empathy for 30 years. Empathy isn't a skill, it's a state of being, yeah? So this is what I see empathy is. I'm standing here as Terry Hawkins with my entire life behind me. My experiences, my values, my past, my background, everything, my education brings me to this point right here today, and I see the world the way I see it because of that. Empathy is stepping outside of that, coming over here, being completely empty, and then using my imagination to imagine what it must be like for you based on your life, your background, your experiences, everything about you, and then imagining how you see the world based on that. Do you know what most of us do? We take that and we pollute it over here. I pollute my perception with Terry Hawkins. Empathy is one of the hardest things that you can possibly do. Now, when everyone was telling me about presenting here at JCK Luxury, woo! I was told that you, this audience, would be one of the most empathic audiences that I could ever present to. Wow. How's that? Isn't that great feedback? Apparently when you're driving along in the traffic, ever had that and a car cuts you off? Yeah? Ever had that? What happens to you? Your heart comes up through your throat, doesn't it? You push it back down. And I've heard you go, it's okay, I understand. Go on. Or you go home at night and Honey's there, whoever Honey is, you go, hi, Hun. Hun goes, I've heard that you go, oh, darling, you don't seem to be your normal happy self tonight. What's up, sweetie? Or is it more, hi, Hun? Oh, what's wrong with you now, you whiner? Isn't it that? So what's that word that sounds like empathy but isn't empathy? Sympathy, very good. Sympathy. Now, I like to call that place when you're in a sympathetic state, quite a technical term. I like to call that place, wait for it, and this is why most of your people or you don't sell. I like to call it the pit. But not just any old pit. It's the pit of misery. Have you ever been to the pit? I think so. Who went out last night? Oh, he's got a broken arm. It's never the 44 drinks that kills you, is it? It's the 45th one? And you know it's going to be that drink, don't you? You go, I don't think I should have another one. And so, of course, we go down into this pit. Now, pit people have pit posture. Have you noticed that? Pit people have pit posture. So their head's down, actually, I love it. You see some people going, not me. So they have their head down, their shoulders are down. Have you ever noticed those people with their mouth? Their mouth pulls down. And they walk around like this, don't they? Now, all of our mouths pull down. Don't take it personally. But they're permanently there. And they walk around in their pit. And what sort of things do you think they say to themselves? What do you think pit people say to themselves? It's tough out there. It's not like it used to be. Hey, it's not like the good old days when they just come in and buy. People, oh, everything's online now. Everything's online. It's killing our business. So that's Pitman. I walk into, can I have the ballroom lights turned up a little bit? Is that all right? I don't know who does that. I want to be able to see you more. Because this is not a show, yeah? And I'm starting to see some of your faces. You're my customer here. And so, that's a little bit better. Okay, and so I walk into this store, and it's a luxury baby store, and it's a strip store, so you've actually got to physically park the car, walk into the store, and go out of your way, yeah? So it's one of those, it's a difficult buying experience. So I walk in the front door, there's a guy behind the counter, I instantly know that it's his store. He's engaging the customer, she's bought a whole bunch of things, they're having a bit of a chat. As soon as I walk in, he greets me. Hi, how are you going? I thought, that's a good start. It's a little bit like a date selling retail, isn't it? It's a little bit like dating. It's amazing how many people expect a kiss at the end of the sale and they ignore you the whole date. Yeah? So I walk in, he says, hi, how are you? I said, fine. I start gathering a few things. I get about 3 or 4 things. I get to the counter, and so I've bought I'm telling you the detail because I think it's really important. Please don't go to that place and go to the pit and go, well, we're in luxury jewellery. It's not a jewellery example, so I'm not listening. It's exactly the same. And so I get to the counter. I've got a snuggle. What are they? You know those, swaddle. You know why? Because my 50-year-old girlfriend has wanted a baby for about 12 years. It actually ended her marriage. She adopted a baby 3 months ago, a brand new baby. And this is for her. We were laughing at Christmas time because I was teaching her how to swaddle a teddy bear. And so when I found the swaddle, I burst out laughing and went, oh my gosh, she's going to think this is fantastic, yeah? So I find the swaddle. Listen to me, I'm still in the store, I get so frustrated. I pick the swaddle up and I see my girlfriend. That's what I'm buying. I'm not buying a stupid swaddle. I'm not buying a Rolex. I'm not buying a diamond ring. I'm not buying any of that. I'm buying the story that I make around that. And so few people do this. So few people have the ability to emotionally and truly empathically connect with that person standing in front of them. So then I buy a little teddy bear. Oh, he's soft. I put him to my face. Why? Because I imagine Gray putting him to his face. We're sensory. We touch, we taste, we feel, we smell. I then find a little pair of socks, baby socks, but they're skater socks. They're like tiny little socks. My son's a skater. We bought him a little pair of baby Vans. I went, oh my gosh, she's going to think this is fantastic. I get to the counter, the guy goes, great, lovely, charming. So did you find everything that you're looking for? I said, oh, not really. He said, oh, can I help you find some things? I said, no, I wouldn't have a clue what I'm looking for. He goes, all right then. Goes to the till, brings it up, gives me the docket. I look at the docket and it says walk-in. And I went, oh, I've never seen that before. And I said, what does walk-in mean? I said, as opposed to what? And he said, online. I went, oh, interesting. I said, why would you make the difference? I said, I'm just in retail, that's all, retail training. I said, I'm just curious to know, normally it would say a team member. I said, half the time they go, who served you? And then you go, no one, and they go, right, and keep going, yeah? Not realising that's a bit of feedback for them. And so he said, no, a lot of our business, listen to the Pitman dialogue. A lot of our business is online now because online, that's where it's going. I mean, really, retail, all of our competitors have gone broke. Nga, 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 nga. And I'm standing there starting to seethe, because I'm thinking, buddy, do you really think I own, now, whatever it was, I think it was a couple of $100, do you really think that's all I wanted to spend on my girlfriend? So I just stood there, listened to him, and I said, well, really, it's about connecting. It's about really getting out behind the counter and finding out who your customer is. Oh, he said, we used to do that. Straight to Justify, already doing it. We used to do that. Yeah, we'd go up and we'd find out their information and their details and so forth, but customers didn't like it. I said, you don't find their details out straight up. That's like going on a date. I literally said this, going on a date, walking out the front door and saying, how about a kiss? Yeah, of course you don't want to do that. You want to romance the customer. So I said, who's this for? If there's one thing you walk out of here with, I promise you, we get 20, 30, 50, 120. We get the biggest percentage increases. And that's just not me flicking stuff away. I can't stand saying stuff like that. You know why? Because the skeptic in you will go, yeah, we've done it all. We've done it all. I said, who's this for? He goes, I don't know. I said, that's the problem. So I told him this is for my 50-year-old girlfriend, and she's just adopted a baby, and he grabs tissue paper and now puts it in the bag. I said, you didn't know. You didn't ask. I said, that's what I was buying. You see that? So that's empathy. What's empathy? Well, you can only have empathy when you're out of the pit. Have you ever hired any pit people? Yeah, ever worked with a pit person? Actually, some of you are sitting there going, mm-hmm. That's why I brought them. Yeah? Unbelievable. Ever had them at work? You see them coming across the parking lot, don't you? See them coming across, coming toward the store. They walk in, you go, hi, how are you? They go, oh, don't even ask. Yeah, and you feel the energy being sucked out of you. So that's Pitman. Now, another reason that we go to the pit is when we get a little bit of what? A little bit of feedback. A little bit of feedback. Yeah? When we get a little bit of feedback. Now, what sort of feedback do we love? What sort of feedback do you love? Positive. My gosh, you're gorgeous. What sort of feedback do we hate? Negative. I wouldn't date you for practice. That's right. I love the girls. You see the women going, I'll save that one for tonight. Yeah, put that in the back pocket. So we love the positive feedback, but we hate the negative feedback. Why? Because of this. I wish I had a microphone here. This is what we hate. Oh, it's not on. It's not on. That was like me saying, I'm home with the groceries. Don't you love that? I'm home with the groceries. Get down here and help me. This here, this is why we get scared. Because when you get a little bit of feedback, this comes up. And your heart pounds. So, feedback is one of the most powerful things that we can get. But guess what? There are no failures in life. I love this. There are no failures in life, just feedback. Now, I get feedback all the time in my presentations. We've worked out that about 1%, probably 1% of my audience actually hate me. Now, some of you are going, only 1%. Thought it would be higher than that, yeah? But no, it's about 1%. The other 99 was on the other side, and we couldn't work it out. And then we worked it out. Guess who the 1% were? Pit people. But they weren't just any old pit people. These guys were the PPPers. They were the professional pit people. Yes? They got some furniture in. TV, DVD, put some curtains in, built a basement, put a pool in so they could have a pool party with their pit pals. Yeah? And they didn't like, they got a bit lonely. She said they got a dog. What sort of dog? Pit bull. Ta-da! And so they didn't like someone like me coming along saying, I can show you how to get out of the pit like that if you want. Let me ask you something. How would it be if your entire team and you operated out of the pit? How often do we let our negativities and this is not just positive thinking, by the way. This is actually how your brain operates. You operate negatively because of your Neanderthal or reptilian brain. You can't help it. You can't help but sway to negativity. You can have the best month ever. Tell me I'm wrong. And the first week of the next month, what happens? And you have no sales. You start to freak out, don't you? Think, oh my gosh, I knew it was too good to last. And then we start to spray our pit pollution over everyone. You know why? Because we're so addicted to the metric. We're so addicted to making money. We're so addicted to the fact that the money is the measure of how well we're doing. Do I love making a sale? I'm the first one to play the Rocky music and punch the air. But I look at it and go, let's just say it's a $100 million business. Well, you're probably sitting on a $150 million business. You've just decided that's what it was. People cap their own reality because they live in this stupid pit. Now, I'm not talking about genuine emotion, like grief or sadness or whatever. I see it everywhere. I'm going to my room yesterday. I walk up to show the security guard. Don't you think they put people on the you've just entered the hotel. I love this hotel, it's fantastic. At least you'd have security guards that had a smile on their face. Don't you think? So a guy walks past him and he goes, excuse me. And the guy goes, I work here. He goes, where's your pass? Where's your pass? And I'm standing there too. Yeah? I'm thinking, this is, whoa, Starsky and Hutch here, baby. Waiting for the whole, tackle. And he goes, honestly, and he goes, what should I, and he's giving him his name. Now he's so upset with that customer, guess what he does? He takes that experience, turns around, and then sprays it onto me. And looks at me like I'm a, whatever. Looks at my card, looks at it, and sends me off. And I went, oh, welcome. Hey, are you happy? Yeah? Well, notify your face. Have a look at your people. Have a look at the people you hang around with. What's it like for the customer? Or are we in here? Or have we got brand-related arrogance? Are we so stuck in how fantastic our product is that we're missing some of the most basic elements of human connection? Because there are three parts. You can do your sales skills. That's a strategy. The brain requires a process, beginning, middle, end. Yeah, we all know the steps to a sale. Then you have the culture of your business, which is really just an outcome of the people within it. And then the center part are the sales people that have that day-to-day connection. Years ago, people would do the upside-down triangle. Remember that? They'd go, the customer was here and the CEO was there. I know, but we're going to be really clever and we're going to turn it on its head and we're going to put the CEO at the bottom and then we're going to put the customer at the top. Because we care about the customer. I go, it's still got a point. And wherever the arrow is pointed, you're facing the wrong direction. So what if we actually got real and put the customer at the center of everything we did, and then everybody else faced inward toward that customer? Then you would come up with solutions that you couldn't even imagine there. But most of us, especially if you actually have shareholders, I doubt whether many of you do, but if you do, the shareholders out here, they're a gambler. I don't even put them inside the circle. Why? Because I don't know any salesperson who's going to leap out of bed in the morning to make more money for someone else. But I know a hell of a lot of people who will get out of bed every day at the prospect of changing another human being's life. And that's how you transform your people to go from the pit into another reality. So how do we do that? How do we do that? Because you can't just say to people, get out of the pit. That's when they get an even bigger pit face, don't they? Cat's bum face. So someone said to me, well, what's the difference between empathy and sympathy? Well, sympathy, get all the learnings that you need to get when you're in there, but when you've got them, call out and I'll throw you a ladder. That's empathy. Now, would you like to learn a really quick process to show you how to get out of the pit? Would that be cool? Yeah? I love it. Some of you are nodding. Some form of life is always really attractive in a relationship, don't you think? Exactly. Except when you've been married for 25 years. And so, if Pitman's a villain, then every villain needs what to kill him? Ta-da! A superhero. Very good. Let me just give you a side note here. See that silly little character up there, Pitman, who lives in the pit of misery? That anchor transforms people's mindsets when they're actually on a selling floor. Because when you can pick whether you're in the pit or not, guess what you stop doing? You stop blaming the environment. There were no customers today. Everybody was just looking. Whatever story we make up about why we're not producing results. I had one woman say to me, I hated you when you stood on stage and started talking about Pitman. I thought, she was so aggressive, yeah? And then guess what she said? She said, guess what I realised? I'm the Pitman in our family. My husband's Mr. Optimist and I'm always so negative. I'm always pulling things down. But how do you get out of that? How do you get out of it if we have this constant wiring in our brain? Well, it's quite easy. So we have Pitman. I'm now going to introduce you to our superhero called Flipman. Now, what's Flipman? So Flip, that's a mouth, that's a brain. Flipman is everything that I've learnt in human behaviour that I'm going to show you like that, because this was the difference between high-performing salespeople and not. So I have a guy, I'll give you a jewellery example. So I worked in jewellery in Australia for about, I've still got my training company over there. One of my first clients was Showcase Jewellers. There wouldn't happen to be anyone from Showcase Jewellers in this room right now, would there? You just never know, you know. We're a small country, but we have an impact. And so they've got about 250 franchisees. Jimico was the buying group, very big buying group. And one of their franchisees calls me and he says, I thought of you yesterday. And I said, why? He said, I had a customer who came in and wanted to buy a diamond ring. An 8-carat diamond ring. It was the biggest diamond ring sale in Australia at that time, 1.5 million. And he said, I thought of you because I almost dumbed down this sale. I started showing him $300,000 rings, $400,000 rings. He said, and then I realised that I was actually limiting my own self. Now, guess who the ring was for? Who do you think the ring was for? Just yell out answers. I hate doing yell outs, but for his fiancée. Very good. What else? What was that? Olivia Newton-John. I love you. I love you. I could break out into song, but I don't want to kill you. Okay, what else? Himself, maybe, yeah? Now, one of the guys yelled that out when I was sharing it in training. And then a few of the other guys laughed and made a joke, an innuendo joke. We are in Australia right now, remember, convicts. And about this guy's sexuality. And I said, isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? It was for himself, actually. He was a 36-year-old, uber-successful guy. He found that when he went into boardrooms, he was dealing with people twice his age and they never took him seriously. So he wanted to actually walk in and make an instant impact with what he wore. He couldn't really bring his Learjet through the front door. You see that? Wow. Now, for someone to share that sort of intimacy with you in a sale, to show that vulnerability, that's real connection. So he ends up selling the 1.5 diamond ring and also a $500,000 bracelet. That's a pretty nice sale. What do you reckon? Yeah? Nice sale. He was very happy. The same guy that made the joke said, I wish he'd come into my store. I said, he probably did. You probably just didn't recognize him. So what sort of a business are you sitting on? Are you sitting on a business that could be 20, 30, 40, 100% greater than what it is? Because I promise you right now, I could come in and do a hidden shopping experience, let's say, and promise you that I could find you gaps. I could find gaps in your business. And people go, God, she's a little bit arrogant, isn't she? And I go, no, not at all. Not at all. You know why? Because there is never any time or situation where we do it 100%. And there are always gaps. But guess what the biggest gap? The biggest gap is helping our people to have their own personal breakthroughs. If my life is in the toilet, do you really think I'm going to bring I leave that at the front door. Don't we say, leave all your personal problems at the front door? They don't. They go, you know what? You can pack your bags. It's over. I hate you. I'm going to kill you. Morning. Woo! Let's make $1 million sale. It's not going to happen. So how do I get rid of this patterning? How do I get rid of the rewiring? So let me just, so we've got little flip man. Now what I want to do, I'm going to play a couple of games with you. I'm keeping my eye on the time. I'm going to play a couple of games with you. Make a circle with your hand for me. Make a circle with your hand. Actually, just relax for a second. Relax. Don't you love it when someone like me says, make a circle with your hand? And then some people, guess what? They go, I don't play games like that. I just came to watch, not to learn. I'll let you know if I'm going to learn at the end. So if you're sitting beside someone who's not going to make a circle with their hand, could you just point them out so that we know they're people and we won't hang out with them at morning break? How about that? Okay, stop it. Okay, you ready? The girls get this faster than the guys. Okay, don't let me down, girls. Make a circle with your hand. I love it. Okay, you ready? Come on, play. Ready? Okay, put your hand on your chin. Go. On your chin. It's an old training game. I love it. Now, don't you love it? I love the cheats. They go, oh, got it. Because people follow what we do, not what we say. People follow what we do, not what we say. You cannot change what people do and you cannot change what people think until you change how they feel. I actually worked with Nordstrom when I first got here, their cosmetics department. And I was actually speaking with one of the particular stores. They had a 24% increase in the middle of a massive reconstruction of their store, one of the stores. And nothing changed except the fact that we did the training. Why? We took people away from, I see you as a customer and I see you as a dollar sign. You are going to help me make my target. You're going to help me make my commission. 2, how about if I just ignore that for a while? I know I've got my target. I know where I'm headed. I know what I've got to do. And turned here and faced the customer. And then had a strategic process to follow to connect with them. Wouldn't that be handy? And then what if I had a process to keep me out of here for a while? Would that not be a really handy thing? So now that you've played that game, take your finger for me. Take your finger. Okay, now place it horizontally in your mouth between your teeth. Don't half commit, push it right back. Okay, in your mouth, push it in. Everyone do it, go. Okay, take it out, relax. You just did flip man. Okay, we can leave now. No, let me show you what you did. I'm going to do a side note, can I? For the rest of the program, not this session, but going forward, play at 100%. Play at 100%. Live here. Live in your heartbeat. I'm terrified every single time. I wish you could have been in my body when I stood here for the first 15 minutes. I wanted to die. You know why? Because I was getting nothing back. I had backs facing to me. People were eating. And that's okay. You're here to have breakfast, for goodness sake. And here I am, and I go, I'm going to expose myself just so vulnerably out here and do the best I possibly can. So the noise inside my chest and the fear in my body and the adrenaline pumping through my system, I had to ignore all of that and keep talking and hopefully make enough sense that you stopped and listened. But I got to tell you, you know what people do? We deaden ourselves to that. And so then we go into relationships and do the routine and go, there's no more buzz, but I'll just keep doing it because, hey, it's better the devil that you know than you don't know. We hire so-called gun salespeople, and then they're fantastic, and we become addicted to the personality of that person. And they build their customer base, and now we're threatened. Because if they leave, we're scared they're going to take their client base with them. Yeah, not our client base, their client base. You know why they're called gun salespeople? Because they hold a gun to your head. They hold a gun to your head and they say, give me your wife or I'm leaving. And you go, only if you can take the kids. And so, no, I'm kidding. But isn't it true? And so what we do is we run our businesses on personalities, not on processes. You make the process on the pedestal. You put the process on the pedestal. and then you hire the certain type of personality. When people say we want to hire someone successful from another business, and so what do? We prostitute each other. Teach people how to bring their best game to work. Do all of this beforehand. And so if we look at Flipman, so let me just ask you something. So when you took your finger and you shoved it in your face, yeah? There were three things that occurred. There were three processes that occurred. The first process, so we have 1, 2, 3. The first process was the captain of your ship, which is your conscious mind, heard that, yeah? So the captain goes, okay, captain is the conscious mind. The second process that we have, so when the captain gives an order, you know those old movies? And you have the captain up on the boat, and then all the rowers are underneath. You can't see the rowers, but the captain says, he goes, or she goes, but it was he in those days, forward. What happens to the boat? It moves, very good. It moves. And so the third process occurs, and that's where we get an outcome. So the boat moves. But who did he give the order to? Who did he give the order to? The crew, very good. So the crew is your unconscious mind. The crew is your unconscious mind. When you took your finger, shoved it in your mouth, the corners of the cheeks muscles the corners of the mouth went up. The two major muscles in the face, which are the zygote glands or something, pulled the face upwards. The brain said, oh, I know what you're doing. You do that when you smile. I'm going to release a massive amount of serotonin and endorphins into your system to make you feel better. Fact. Now, wouldn't you love to say to some of your team, shove a finger in and get happy? I could just see you walking into a meeting. Okay, let's look at the results. Ta-da! And so that's what happens with Flipman. You have a conscious mind, unconscious mind, and then an outcome. The body aligns itself. But guess what? This part is 95%. And this part is only 5%. So when people say to me, they do it, we've done training. I go, that's like saying, I wake up and breathe oxygen occasionally. You don't do training for training's sake. I hate the word training. So what we need to do is try to build this 5% into a much greater level, yeah? And so neurons that fire together, wire together. Neurons that fire together, wire together. So we have neural pathways. That's why I promise you, you can do a training program, and if you don't have the right strategy in place afterwards, your people are going to go back to what they did within 3 months. Within 3 months, promise you. And a lot of you are nodding your head. You go, that's right. Because why? We don't have the strategy in place to support the unconscious mind rather than the conscious mind. And so I come out one time, and my eldest son, who's 20, he was 3.5 at the time, and he's chewing his nails. That says 0 to 7. That's when the belief systems are formed. And he's biting his nails. And I said, stop biting your nails. He goes, why? You do. I said, thanks for the feedback. And then I realized that if he stopped biting his nails, this is how you change a culture in an organization. It takes about 2 years. If he stopped biting his nails in the 0 to 7 years, the next child would be born into a non-nail biting family. But who had to go first? I had to go first. Because why? When the mother decides, the child follows. When the leader decides, the team follows. So if you want to get a different result, you have to do different strategy. You can't just wake up and expect it to happen. And that's what we do sometimes. Come on, you guys. Everybody out there, woo, motivated. Let's put on some rocky music. Let's go. I'll be out the back doing the finances. And off we go. Yeah? So, like I said, neurons that fire together. Pretend that I'm a brain. So tell me what I would have to do in order to grow a new neural pathway. There are 4 steps. If you do these 4 steps in your business, I promise you, you'll change your business. So we can do all the retail strategy, and I'm going to hang around afterwards. I've got my books over there. I'm going to hang around afterwards and chat if you want and talk. But just for right now, let's have a look at this. So here I stand today as a nail biter. What do I want? So 12 months' time, what do I want? You have to be able to what? You have to be able to make a what? Be able to see it. Very good. So the first step that we have is you see it. So number one is see it. So 12 months' time, I need to be able to look down and have a look at my, what sort of nails? Long, healthy nails. Very good. So I make a picture of having long, healthy nails. Then I say to myself, what sort of dialogue do you think I would say? What do I want to reinforce? Now, a lot of people say what? They go, don't bite your nails. True? Stop biting your nails. And so if you say, sorry, photo opportunity. And so have you ever given a child a glass of milk? We do this with our teams all the time. We're not even aware of it. You give a child a glass of milk, what do you say? What do you say? Don't spill the milk. I love the non-parents. They go, drink it. The parents go, don't spill it. Yeah? So we've made a picture, haven't we? We've made a picture of what? Them spilling it. We then say it. Do we say it quietly? No, very passionately. Don't spill the milk. How do you think we're feeling at that point? Yeah, do we feel them spilling the milk? You bet your life we do. So we feel it. And then what happens? What do? Spill the milk. We go, I told you not to spill the milk. And they go, wow, Mum's a clairvoyant. How'd you know I was going to do that? And so then we do it. So we see it, make a picture, visual. We say it, auditory. We then put the feeling behind it, and it's the feeling that actually creates the change. And then, of course, it happens. So here I stand today as a nail biter. I make a picture. What does your business look like in 12 months' time, 5 years' time? What team do you have? Do you sit in fear? What's the feeling you have when you think about your business? Are you anxious all the time? Because whatever feeling you've got, you're going to project that. You're going to get more of that. So see it, make a picture. Long, healthy nails. Say it. I have long, healthy nails. So you don't say don't, can't, stop, or whatever. You say I have or I am. I have or I am. This is all scientific, by the way. It's all in my book. I am or I have. I've just made it really simple. Isn't it funny? When something's simple, we flick it out because we want to struggle. We want to make something challenging. It's got to be hard. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So you see it, say it, feel it. How are you going to feel when you see those long, healthy nails after a lifetime of biting them? Fully empowering. How are you going to feel when your business now doubles its turnover? Oh, I couldn't do that. Grab the pitman language. What are you going to do when you fall back in love with your partner of 30 years? Oh, that's never going to happen. That's right. See, whatever you bring, our targets are actually the past. People say you've got to face reality. I go, guess what reality is? There is no such thing. Reality is purely your past presenting itself today. Today is just the past saying hello. You want to change a different reality? You change what you do today. You can walk out of here right now using this strategy. See, say, feel, do in anything that you want. You make a very clear picture. You get really powerful dialogue. Now, would you like to learn how to go from having no energy to high energy? Well, how would that be? How would that be? Go shopping. Go shopping. Even if you have to make an appointment, just pretend. And I'd love you to go shopping with the people that actually are in the same space as you. What do you go shopping for? Not to steal their ideas, not to copy their marketing campaign, not to take their designs. You see, when you're down here in needy, when you're down here in fear, you can't come up with anything new because you're always chasing someone else. Look at that, you're chasing them. But if you can step outside of that and sit in a place that says, no, I want to go and feel what it feels like to be a customer. Blows my mind. I work with people in this industry and they're as cold as a wet fish. True. Not you. All those other people out there. Yeah? But isn't it true that you meet some people are so engaging and they're so beautiful and they're so kind. I had one woman I presented at a conference. I met her in the bathroom before I spoke. She came up to me afterwards and said, I was trying to make conversation because I try to make friends with you. Yeah? Why am I doing that? So I can calm myself down and deliver you the best I possibly can. You need a strategy when you have a customer who's really aloof. But what do they say? No, they're just looking. They're just getting ideas right now. They're just researching. No, what they really wanted to say was, I didn't have the internal strategy to actually deal with the person here. Because selling, you're crossing boundaries. You see that? It's all about boundaries. And I didn't have the strategy to cross over and jump into that person's boundary or their space and bring them over. It's about trust. It's all about trust. The deeper the trust, the more they'll tell you. And when they come in for a diamond ring, they end up, I walked into a jewelry store while I was waiting for my car in New York, my first trip to this amazing country. I love you. I feel like I've come home. I truly love living here. I thought I'll get a little token. Listen to this. I'll get a little token. A little token. It was a $3,000 sapphire ring. Now, I loved it. He then grabs a bracelet. Now, he doesn't know a lot about me. He could have done such a better job, but he was charming. He grabs the matching 70-carat bracelet. You go, do you have an oxygen machine here? He places it on my wrist. Let me tell you something. You don't know the story that goes behind Terry Hawkins. You don't know the story. My husband never bought me a piece of jewelry. I would buy my own jewelry, I would wrap it up, and I would put it under the tree. Yeah? That's really pathetic, isn't it? I love you, darling. You're the sexiest woman I've ever met my whole life. Oh, darling, that's so lovely. Hey, if you can't get it, make it up. And so he puts the 70-carat bracelet on my wrist. And he says, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the ring if you purchase the bracelet. So $25,000 later, this is all within about a 35-minute period. There are millions of customers out there like that, but you have to tap in and reach in and massage their heart. You know what luxury is about? And I know you know this. It's about relationships. But if I bring my garbage into that relationship, I'm going to pollute you, and you will never know what that person really has to spend with you. Because at your level, it's not about the price. It's about how that piece makes me feel. Isn't it true? Yes? My Rolex watch I love. You know why? Someone said, oh, it's gorgeous. I said, I got it for my 10th wedding anniversary. Yeah? I bought it 2 years after we split up. And so, boom, boom. I love him. We're really good friends, now. Yeah? But do you see how there's a story behind everything? There always is. So would you like to learn to go from having no energy to high energy anytime you liked? Would you? I'm asking for permission here. Would you like to learn how to go from having no energy to having high energy for the rest of the... Come on, I love you. Yeah, I've got 3 takers. Woo! Okay, I'm only kidding. All right, everyone stand up. Everyone stand up. They go, oh, no, really? Where's the timer gone? Really? Okay. You having fun? I think you're gorgeous. Okay, so what I want you to do is just grab a partner. Grab a partner. You don't need to physically touch them. I'm not one of those speakers. No one's going to be hugging anybody today. Look, you might get a date out of it. Who knows? Okay, so grab a partner. Now, I know some of you are still eating, so I'm not going to make you stop eating and stand and play the game. The best part about my job after having done this for so many years is I actually don't give a tinker's cuss what people... Oh, that's an Australian term, sorry. I don't care what people think about me. What's my job? To push back on you a little bit. Don't you want me to come into your business if I happen to work for you as a client and push back on you? Don't you? You bet your life you do. You don't want someone who's going to be nice. So I'm going to give you one more opportunity. Stand up if you want to actually have an experience where you can feel what it feels like to be living out of the pit. I love it. Okay, so who hasn't got a partner? Okay, there's a man over here. Who wants to help out and be a partner? So Dave, do you want to help out? Yeah. Great, there's a guy over here. Like I said, you could get a great date out of it. Just put your hand up. Now you can do it in 3s if you want to. There's a lovely man here, look. It's like at school. Remember when they'd have the 2 rows? They'd go, Nancy, Stephen, you can be the school, you can be the heads of the team. Pick your teams. That's child abuse. Because I was always left to the end. Okay, so what I want you to do is to go person A, person B. So go A, B, very quickly. That's the hardest part of the whole thing. Go A, B. Okay, I love it. That's the quickest personality profile you'll ever do, isn't it? You have 2 assertive people. They both go, one goes, I'm A, I'm B. Then you have assertive and passive. I'm A, you're B. Okay. Then you have two passive people. What do you want to be? I don't care. You pick. All right then. Yeah? I love it. Okay, so person A, I'm going to put you into the pit. Who has studied martial arts here? Who's done any martial arts? Okay, fantastic. This is just a form of martial arts. Isn't it funny? We don't do that in a training program, do we? No, we come in and we say, here's the sale, rank the customer, begin the sale, present the merchandise, suggest sell, handle the objections, close the sale, close the sale, close the sale, close the sale. Okay, wrap it nice, finish the sale, out the door, thanks very much, make sure you do a follow-up letter, tar. But we don't do anything about showing people where their energy is at. What presence do they bring in? When a customer comes in, do they feel warmth or do they feel aggression? And are you self-aware anyway? This is what this is about. So person A, we're going to put you into the pit. Person B, what we're going to do is give you a little bit of a shove. Now, we're not going to knock you into next week, all right? The person's just going to give you a little bit of a push just to show you how easy it is to throw you off your centre. How's that sound? Okay, so person A, let your head roll forward, shoulders roll forward. Person A, let your whole body go really light. Bend your knees a little bit. Let your whole body go really loose. Okay, person B, give them a bit of a push. Move out from the chair. Okay, get them a little push them. Push them. Come on. Okay, beautiful. I love it. Woo! Okay. Now, reverse rolls. Person B, let your head roll forward, shoulders roll forward. Okay, bend your knees a little bit, let your whole body go really light. Okay, person A, shove them back, push them back. Ooh, oh, that was a bit tougher. Don't you I love it. Second round, I'll show you. Okay. Now, obviously, you can't walk around your business going, come here, get out of the pit. Yeah? All we're doing there too is I'm just showing you how easy it is to throw people off their centre. It's like when someone does cut you off in the traffic, yeah? And we're in the pit, we go, you know what? I'm going to chase you to Los Angeles to get you. Don't we? It's like this real, How easy is it? You have a bad experience with a customer and you take it on to the next one. You have a bad month, you bring it into your next reality. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip the switch. So Flip Man is where you trick the brain to go from having no energy to high energy. I've used this for everything. So you ready? Are you willing to play? Okay, beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 now, and then we're going to punch it out. So this is what I do when I need to have high energy. I use this all the time. I use this solidly for the first 20 minutes on this stage because we don't know. You ready? Okay, so I just go, 1, 2, 3 now! Yeah! And I'm there. Now, some of you are going, and I'm going to the bathroom because my heart's pounding. Oh my gosh, I so don't want to do this. I know. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Step into a feeling you haven't had before, and then you will create a new result. I have people who freak out. Oh, it's not my cup of tea. No, I don't do things like that. Wow. Where else in our life do we expect to do the same thing and then shift that result and go to a new level? You can't. You grow, plateau, grow, plateau, grow, plateau, die. Let's make sure that growth happens a lot of times. You ready? Okay, so I'm going to face the front. No one is looking at you. No one's looking at you. My mother said to me, honey, you wouldn't worry so much about what other people thought of you if only you realised just how little they actually did. Yeah? So we're going to face the front. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 now. I'm going to punch it through the roof. Are you not the luxury experience of this industry? Are you not? That's right. So don't get confused that luxury doesn't mean that you have to be all proper. You still have to bring a big energy there, don't you? Not loud and throw it over the customer, a big energy. Okay, I'm going to face the front. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 now, and we're going to rock this town. Are you ready? Now, it can be anything you like. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah? Just don't make sure there's no one in front of you if you're going to do that one. Okay, you ready? Okay, everyone face the front. Now, girls, this is not living the language of power. Woo! That's girly, and we save that for tonight. Okay. Guys, now some of you are like this still. Yeah? Okay, you've got to get ready. Put your chest up. Yeah? Give yourself good posture, arms down. Okay, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 now, and we're going to belt it through the roof. You ready? Okay. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 now. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 now. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 now. You're not doing it 3 times. I'm just showing you the pattern. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3 now. Yeah. Okay, that was pretty average. Just a little bit of feedback. Okay, that was warm up. Okay, you ready? Okay, this is not rah-rah. This is what do you do when your football team wins? What do? You go, woo! Don't you? You all do it. You have no agenda with doing it with 10,000 other people, do you? What do you do when you make a big sale? Woo! Not in front of the customer, of course. But guess what happens? When you get a knockback, when you get a rejection, you go to the pit, you take the energy down. I train sports people, high-level sports teams. Guess what? Because when the other team makes a goal or scores, whatever, this team A, team B, score. Woo! They've actually now got a 2-point lead, not a 1-point lead. Because one of those points is mental. See that? So when you change them to go, woo! Yeah! Woo! They're mentally at the same level. Do you see that? So, you ready? Take it through the roof. I'm going to watch you. Okay. Oh, I love you, sir. Look at that beautiful posture. Okay, come on. You ready? Okay. Double it. 1, 2, 3 now! Yeah! Woo! Very good. Have a seat. That was 100% better. 100% better. I love it. How you feeling? I love it. I've got about 3 or 4 minutes to wrap up. Now, isn't it funny? We've just gone, yay! How you feeling? Not bad. So put your hands on your lap. It's my favourite game of all time. Put your hands on your lap. Okay. Now smile and show your teeth. If you don't like your teeth, get them fixed, but show your teeth. Okay. Now, a big smile. Keep smiling. Show your teeth. Now look up to the ceiling. Keep looking up while you're smiling. Now try and be depressed. Exactly. Your brain's going, I can't do depression when you're like that. Except pit people go, it's working. We go, we know. But it's just one little, I thought I had 4 or 5 minutes. Do I? Okay. And so I love it when they have it. 24 seconds. What happened? And so when you actually go to that place, you change the whole brain, don't you? You change the whole brain. I know people who actually go from having great travesty in their life. Yeah? I knew a little girl, she was 4, and I am going to do the story. She was 4, she was sexually abused. She had pigeon toes, the worst pigeon toes you've ever seen in your life. She had to wear little brown boots, flick them out, steal poles, got bullied at school. She had warts all over her body. She got one wart that turned into warts all over her. She had them on her face, down her legs, on her hands. And she had those warts till she was about 18 years of age. She had more sexual abuse when she was about 7 to 11. Her father was really brutal, used to beat her up, had blood blisters. She would end up, father died then, they were very poor. Father died when she was about 15. She had to raise a younger brother and sister. She then ended up having anorexia, then, bulimia, you name it, got into drinking around 18, tried to kill herself when she was 19, goes to work, gets sexually harassed, all this sort of stuff. And went on to have a great life. Why? Because she didn't spend a life in the pit. That girl's story is my story. And the reason I share that story is because don't ever get confused with the marketing. Every single one of us has a story. And our job is to reach in, put our story aside, massage that person's heart, and pull them through whatever drama it is. So in this moment, even if it's for 15 minutes, we give them the most amazing time of their life. Thank you. You've been absolutely amazing. I've loved you. How you feeling? How you feeling? Woo! I love you. Oh, I forgot to tell you. You're all going to get a little flip man. Woo! Clap, clap, clap. Woo! It's called appreciation. And then now that you've clapped, guess what? Everyone gets a book as well. Isn't that great?
Yay.
I love
Thank
it.
you, Terry.
I love it. My pleasure.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.